At this point, skeptics are digging deep. Where do we begin refuting such an implausible theory? First, we have no evidence whatsoever for this claim. This is not based on any historical data at all. By contrast, the resurrection hypothesis has much historical evidence. Second, this theory contradicts known evidence. Specifically, it would not account for the empty tomb, or the disciples' sudden and dedicated belief in the resurrection, despite having every reason not to believe in the resurrection. This also would not explain why someone like Paul would become a Christian, because a twin brother would not be evidence enough for him to stop his quest of persecution. This historical data are simply not explained by a twin brother. Third, the identical twin would need to want to impersonate a man who was just brutally tortured and murdered. What would be the motive for wanting to impersonate Jesus, when both the Roman and religious authorities would want you dead? Fourth, the identical twin would need to mimic the wounds of Jesus. He would need holes in his hands and feet, and a gash between his ribs.
So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God."
This would need to happen in a short period of time, while at the same time still convincing the disciples that he was immortally raised from the dead. Fifth, this identical twin would need to know everything about Jesus' life and ministry. Jesus continued to meet with his disciples for 40 days, after he purportedly rose from the dead. During that time, this twin would have needed to convince his half-brother James.
Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles,
And his other brothers.
"Don't we have the right to take a believing wife along with us, as do the other apostles and the Lord's brothers and Cephas?"
All of whom were skeptics.
When his family heard about this, they went to take charge of him, for they said, "He is out of his mind." For even his own brothers did not believe in him.
He would have needed to convince his mother.
They all joined together constantly in prayer, along with the women, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brothers.
Who would have known if she had twins? He would have also needed to convince the various other disciples, up to, and including 500 different people.
After that, he appeared to more than 500 of the brothers and sisters at the same time, most of whom are still living, though some have fallen asleep.